Deb and Ross on the job. Deb has a big job to do. Deb has to cut logs into bits. Deb cannot finish fast. Deb asks Ross to help. Ross will help Deb do the job. Ross and Deb cut the logs. Ross hits a big long log. Ross hits a big long log with an axe. Ross had to chop and chop.
Ross has to chop and chop. Yeah.
It is hot in the sun. It is not fast to cut the long log. Ross puffs and puffs. Ross cuts hunks of the log. The log is cut into lots of bits. Deb and Ross cut the logs. Deb is glad. Ross did a swell job.
那个 swell 因为是在那个 L 前面，就是我们以前讲过，那很容易前面的母音很容易被吞掉，对不对？因为 L 是很连的，所以 swell 那个可能要再拉长一点点，发 swell。Okay.
Swell. Ross will put his axe in the tent. Then Ross will sit a spell to drink a full glass of milk. It was hard to do, but it was a thrill to finish a job well.
Well 也是刚刚跟那个 swell 一样 ，well 再拉长一点点 well。
Well, Ross is glad his job is through.
Through. Yeah. 因为我们上次讲过这个字，它很特别。Yes, Ross is glad his job is through. 那在这里的 through，通常来说，如果说我们是讲如果它是介词的话，它是通过或是借着。但是它还有另外一个意思，它当形容词的时候 ，through 是结束了。像 finished 的意思，所以在这里它是这个结束的意思。Ross is glad his job is through. Okay, all right, and so let's do real quick. So we talked about who, what, when, how. Let's do those real quick. Okay, so the first question would be who is in this story, right? 所以你就可以写下来。Okay, or who is this story about? So who is this story about? Okay, so what's your answer? So if the question is, who is this story about?
Deb and Ross.
Okay, good. So 如果我们要把整个句子的话 so you can say this story is about Deb and Ross. Okay, the story is about Deb and Ross.
This story Deb and Ross.
Okay, all right, and then let's what's another? So 我们有5个 W 跟1个 H, right? So do you remember what else? 还有什么？
Where?
Where? Okay. So where does this story take place? Where does this story take place? 所以它这个故事是在哪里发生的？ Where does this story take place? Okay. Okay. 那我们来看一下这个图，大概看起来好像在哪里？
Farm.
On a farm, maybe. Okay. And at least it's outside, right?
Outside.
Right. So you can say at least it's outside. And then also it looks like there's a tent. So you can say, okay, so the first part of the story takes place outside. Right? The first part of the story takes place outside. The last part of the story takes place inside a tent.
Part of story.
Mm-hmm.
Story of yeah. Story take.
所以这是 takes， 因为这是 story 是 he, she, it, right? It takes place inside a tent. Mm-hmm. What else? What's another W word? When. Okay, so when does this story take place? 所以 take place 就是 happen 的意思，就是发生。Okay, when does the story take place? Okay. Okay, and what do you think? When does the story take place? What can you say about when does the story take place?
It's hard. When it's hard.
你有看到什么it is hot, right? It is hot. 那你还有看到有什么可能告诉你 when does the story take place? 是白天还是晚上？是冬天还是夏天？ Okay, so 白天 so during the day. Okay, during the day. 还有你觉得季节可能是什么？
夏天。
可能是夏天，为什么 ？Why？
可是他穿长袖。
Right. So maybe not so clear. Okay, but yeah, so we can say that. We can say this story takes place during the day. 白天的时候 when it is hot in the sun outside. We can just say that. That's good. 然后如果你要说不确定是哪一个季节 you can say it is not clear 不确定不清楚 it is not clear what season it is because it is hot but Deb and Ross it is hot because the sun is hot but Deb and Ross are wearing long sleeves and long pants. So you can say that. So long sleeves 就是长袖 sleeves 是袖子 long sleeves and long pants. All right, what else what's another W question?
What?
Okay, so what could 所以你觉得 what 你可以问什么问题 What question can you ask?
What? What did they do?
Okay, yeah, basically. 那我们现在都是用现在式，所以我们可以用 What are Deb and Ross doing? Right, in the story. Okay, so what are Deb and Ross doing in the story? So how would you answer that? What are Deb and Ross doing in the story?
At the
They are
log.
cutting
They
logs.
are cutting logs.
Okay, yeah, they're cutting logs into bits, right? Into bits. And what's the last W?
Why?
Why? Okay, so what question can you ask about why?
Why? 为什么他们要 cut?
Okay, so why are Deb and Ross cutting logs? Okay, why are Deb and Ross cutting logs? And what do you think? Why are Deb and Ross cutting logs?
Because the log is too big.
The log is too big. Okay, yeah, but why is the log too big?
他们要用 bits.
Okay, maybe. So what do you think? So 所以你如果要说故事没有讲 ，OK， 你可以说 The story doesn't say. The story doesn't say, but 但是你有觉得有什么可能？
他们那个太 logs 太大，然后他们要用到那个小的 bits.
Okay, 那你觉得他们可能要 what are they gonna use it for?
So
Yeah, so because they might be camping, right? They might be camping, 因为 they have a tent, right? So, but you can say it looks like 看起来 it looks like, but it looks like Deb and Ross are camping. So, they are probably 大概 they are probably cutting logs into bits to make fires. Or make campfires, to make campfires.
Okay.
所以我们刚刚在写这个的过程有用到一些其实是很有用的片语，所以像 for example take place, okay, where does the story take place? 然后还有during the day, 所以 during 那个什么的时候。还有 it is not clear 不清楚 it is not clear 这个也是很好用的句子 okay, and then the story doesn't say, okay, the story doesn't say, but it looks like,然后 so 还有 probably, 所以这些都是很好用的。那但是 不一定常常会教到的。
Okay.
Okay, so we'll probably keep doing this thing where I give you a short, 所以我可以给你一个短短的 reading a short story, and then have you practice doing this kind of thing. Okay, 那我们可以多练习。All right.